Hey guys, Dazzler Magic here, and I don't know if you heard the news or not, but a lot of people don't like the look of these wonderful new masterpiece cards from the Amonkhet block. There are going to be 54 of these little buggers, and I don't remember how many are in the first one versus the second one, but that's combined. So Hour of Devastation is also included in that number. Now, this rarity of card, I guess you would say, is called a masterpiece, but this specific series from just Amonkhet, the two sets in the block, are called invocations. Now, what that means, I have no idea. I mean, I think it means non-creature spells. I honestly didn't even pay that much attention. But what people are paying attention to is the fact that they're not so great looking. You can tell that they tried and they really, put a lot of effort and a lot of effort. Effort is a really good word. They put a lot of effort into these. A lot of design time, I guess, maybe. But the problem is they're so busy, the 3D doesn't work, and people really don't like the font very much. I actually do like the bottom font. I'm pretty sure it's like some modified, simplified version of Copperplate Gothic, and I love that font. The funny thing is, from what I've seen in the real life shots, these look even worse in person and in foil, so whoopsies. Now, there's parts I like. I love the bottom. I like the gold, like the gold leaf. That looks pretty cool. But, God, that font is just terrible. And some of the stuff you look at it and you're like, but what even is that? Like, is it a ledge? Is it a ridge? Is it a shadow? What was this supposed to be? So let's be honest. It's not that bad as a whole. I mean, it's still kind of cool looking. It's definitely, really out there and unique. And some parts of it do look really cool. It's just like the text and the vertical power toughness just ruin it. Just absolutely ruin it. So I'd maybe give them a 3 or 4 out of 10. I mean, people are like, oh, 0 out of 10. It's ugly. I don't even want to touch them. Like, okay, I think people are just turning it into a bit of a joke, a bit of a meme at this point. But honestly, they're not that bad, and at least they kind of tried. You can see that they put an effort to make it look exceptional, and the cards have looked, pretty darn similar lately, I guess you could say. The same card frame, same whatever, hasn't really changed a whole lot. Like, I think they claim they changed the card frame in like M14 or M15 or something. They change the card frame all the time, but not in a very noticeable way. I mean, the last time they went nuts with it, as far as I know, is probably Time Spiral with those, oh god, I don't know if you've seen these. These horrific, what do they call them, like future sight cards or time, well, they weren't time shifted, that's purple, I don't remember, they're just awful, the ugly frame cards, that's what I call them. They turned them into some kind of like Saturday morning cartoon spin-off toy looking frame. Oh my god, it just looks terrible. Oh my god, I've misread cards that are in this frame. I've misread their mana cost because the frame is so damn confusing and exotic. So compared to that, 10 out of 10. I mean, not even in the same classification. I hate those cards. I hated that frame. And apparently, just like this time around, people were kind of, on different sides of the fence on that. Some people liked it. They thought it was kind of more futuristic, more up to date. And other people were, just scared of change or traditional. And they're like, no, this isn't a magic card. This looks completely like crap. They didn't keep it around, so that tells you who was right. I mean, you could just kind of look at it that way. But yeah, those were confusing, terrible, backwards, stupid, ugly, and laid out like crap. So they were just not functional. Now, you could say the same about these wonderful invocations because the font is just barely readable. Like, just look at that letter Y. What the hell is that? Like, what is that? All the capital D's, which they're actually all capital, look like the letter B, and it's just, why? Why would they do that? It just looks so bad. If it takes you 5 times longer to check if it's a human or a warrior or both, you can't even play with the damn card. It's just stupid. It's just utterly stupid. So, I was bored at work today, and keep in mind, I'm no artist, but I came up with a fixed version. This is, in my opinion, pretty close to what they should have looked like. Just less busy, less daring on the 3D effects, but still flashy, new, and very Egyptian. But it all flows, and it's easy on the eyes, and it's organized and clear as day. So like I said, I'm no artist. I suck at doing stuff from scratch. I tend to make everything a pattern, geometric, symmetrical, because that's just, my brain is obsessed with patterns. But, I don't know, this is what I came up with. Check this out. So what do you think? I mean, would I actually print this and say, yes, this is the final version, send it to the printers? No, this looks like complete crap. But the concept, with a little tweaking, would be pretty good. In fact, I love the marble pillars on the bottom. Those are beautiful. The gold leaf is pretty good. Some of the overlays aren't great. I don't like the left right. It should have vertical lines in it to just border it off and make the space look less homogeneous. And the inlays are a little too perfect. The lighting angle and stuff are just not right. It wouldn't look very good in print either, but you know, that said, it still looks pretty decent. It flows. It's not all one color, but it's one color scheme, I would say. And the name, you know, the text, everything is just clear. It's just clear as day. It's where it's supposed to be. It's left to right, not vertical for the power and toughness. And it's just laid out nicely. I mean, the important information is big. The unimportant information isn't. There's a color indicator on the middle left there. That's what that's supposed to be. Could have shrunk it a couple pixels, but I mean, it's not like I'm submitting this to Wizards for them to actually print it. I put very little effort into this. Speaking of very little effort, you're probably wondering what the hell happened to the bottom. I ran out of time, wanted to go home, and just completely BS the whole bottom in about 2 minutes. In fact, there's a couple errors in the way that's supposed to be laid out. Oh, and I don't believe that artwork was actually done by the famous Irish artist Des O'Later. Oh, but the Wizards of the Toast, I did that on purpose. So the bottom would have looked practically identical to their bottom with a bunch of edges, ridges, and engraving in it if I had time or gave a crap. But you guys get it. I mean, just look at it for 3 seconds and look away and be like, yeah, that was more pleasant and better to look at and easier to figure out. I mean, it still looks amateurish and like crap and everything sized wrong and scaled wrong. And probably should have put like some shimmer in the edges on the top to make it, you know, cut not perfectly square. But in general, I mean, it's not bad. So I have to ask, which one do you guys like better? Leave your opinion down in the comment section, and I don't know, hopefully Wizards kind of gets it for the next set, which is honestly probably finalized and approved and on its way to the printer right now. Like, seriously, I mean, like, what the hell is it supposed to be? Atlazan, allegedly. The one after Hour of Devastation, allegedly. I really honestly don't think that that's the name, but I think that the artwork and characters were spot on. So if you want a full high-res version of this to print out a comical proxy, I guess, or whatever, you ain't gonna fool anybody with this, but that's the point. Proxies are supposed to be marked as such. Follow me on Twitter because I'll be tweeting out the full high-res version very shortly after this video goes up. Also, speaking of Photoshop and early leaks, because I actually posted this on Patreon before I was done with it. If you want to support me on Patreon because you got just way too much money, if you're as broke as me, hey, don't worry, I get it. But if you got some money to spare, you know, head on over to Patreon, support me. At the highest level, I will Photoshop basically anything for you like once a month. So if you're an existing patron, like, you have like 1 day to get your request in. I'll do whatever, it doesn't matter. But if you want a face swap, a funny, you know, mocked up Christmas card, whatever, you know, hit me up with that. Instructions are obviously on Patreon. So I thought I'd just throw that out there. So if you're impressed by my amazing Photoshop skills from my one college class in it and like 15 years experience, that's always available, and you really can't find it at a cheaper price. So hope you guys loved my version. If you did or didn't, make sure you let me know, and I'll see you guys next video.